All right, welcome all electors, and we'll call this meeting to order. I was going to go into the rest of my speech normally, sorry. I think we can go ahead and get started with some introductions. If you could please just say your name and where you live, that would be great. We're going to start up here with Scott, and then we'll cross over here to Gary.
Scott, or Village of Black Earth.
Elizabeth Gospel, Village of Mason.
Dale Green, Village of Mazzolini.
Gary Herrick, Village of Mazzolini.
Cheryl Knowles, Bosqueville School District.
Mike Wagner, Town of Black Earth.
Angie Wolf, Town of Mazzolini.
Jordan Sims, Village of Black Earth.
Cindy Byteen, Town of Mazo.
Mary Beth Shaw, Town of Mazo.
James Carmen, Village of Mazo.
Barb Satz, Village of Black Earth.
Matt Crowe, Town of Black Earth.
Anyone introduce yourself to the
Sure, Beth Whalen, Village of Cross Plains.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order up for business. Do I have a motion to elect a chairperson for the meeting?
I will nominate Jordan Sims as our chairperson.
I do have a first and second for Jordan for our chairperson. Do we have any other nominations?
I'll make a motion. I'd like to join as a chairperson.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
anybody else.
Oh, gotcha.
Three cheers.
You get three cheers.
Three cheers. See, there you go.
I have a nomination then for those. So the second one, null. Any others? Do I have a third time? Do I have a nomination for another chairperson? Hearing none others. Jordan, you are up for it. We don't need a vote, right?
We do.
Okay. So I'm trying to. It's a year, so it's like do all. So all of those in favor, please say aye to elect Jordan.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes. Jordan,
Thank you
take
very
it
much.
away.
Very exciting. Mike Wagner is here. We're on agenda item number 5, by the way, page 3 of the annual meeting packet. So Mike Wagner is here. He's the member of our board who serves as the clerk. On to item number 6. Why don't we do that? We can take the budget, Cindy.
Oh, okay.
On to agenda item number 6. In the packet, which is approving the minutes of the last annual meeting, which are on page 5 in your packet, if you'd like to reference that. So be looking for a motion and a second to approve the annual meeting minutes from October 25th of 2021.
So moved.
Second.
James and Matt. For a motion and a second, any questions or discussion on the topic? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? All right, carries unanimously. On to agenda item number 7, the State of Schools report, which is me giving that quick report. Just want to touch on a few things before we transition to some budget items, because there are some noteworthy things. In April of 2018, we had our future search. 90-plus community members that participated in that gave us 8 focal points that they wanted us to work on as our strategic directions. Number 1 was recruitment and retention of staff. We've done a lot of work the last couple of years with market comp research and culture building to try to maintain our staff. Second one was community collaboration with government, community businesses. Think about things that we've done with the Sheriff's Department, school safety, our stakeholder meetings with the villages, and other engagement opportunities that we've tried to provide. Third one was proactive and positive marketing and branding of the district. Our new website, our new app, our social media presence to try to celebrate the district. We've really tried hard to brand with our school logo and to work on that as we move forward. The one-site campus was item number 4, which obviously we started the 2022 school year in our pre-K through 12 campus. Item number 5 was private and public partnerships for improved funding. We've had a lot of grant dollars, which Cheryl could attest to as the business manager, and most recently our $264,000 grant from the Department of Workforce Development. Our CT Advisory Board has done a lot for helping along with funding and technology education classes as well. Number 6 was innovative teaching styles to accommodate diverse learners. Our shared leadership team, which is driving our PLC, which is driving our learning. I'll share a little more about our student learning, which right now our data is as good as it's ever been. Summer school participation numbers were significant this last year. I think we're the best numbers we had for summer school. And then this year, transitioning to full day 4K, another example of innovation in the district. Item number 7 was maintaining small class sizes throughout the district. If you look at our elementary class size, our average elementary class size is 17 students. And most of our academic classes at the middle school, high school are below 20. So we have certainly done a very good job of maintaining the small class sizes. And then strategic direction number 8 was school-based services. We have grant-funded counseling available to all students in the district. Students throughout the district are supported by counselors and mental health support specialists. And then our youth apprenticeship program has more participation now than it's ever had before. So I just wanted to share some quick highlights because we took that very seriously. And when we make decisions and try to use budget dollars, staffing, we're still trying to support those strategic directions from our future search. A couple other things. The information is still embargoed in terms of the full report from the 21-22 school report card at the state level. But a few highlights for the district. So we maintained our exceeds expectations rating. Our academic growth in the district is in the 93rd percentile of all districts in the state of Wisconsin. Our high school actually achieved a significantly exceeds expectations rating last year. Academic achievement in the high school was in the 91st percentile. And their academic growth was in the 98th percentile, which would place our high school in like the top 10 high schools in the state of Wisconsin for academic growth. Summary, our overall rating is up as a district. In all 3 buildings, our ratings were up from the previous year. And 10 of the 12 metrics from 2021 to 21-22 were up. So just really proud of the efforts of our staff last year. Budget summary, thanks to our community support, a growing tax base, well-planned finances, and improved operations, we're in a solid financial position. Also helping that was our open enrollment ratio improved by 30 students this school year, and then the operational savings that we will start to realize as a result of a single campus this year. In conclusion, our strategic planning and focus on continuous improvement continue to pay off for the district. We know we will never be a finished product. We will continue to strive for high levels of learning for all students, and we want to be a school district that our community can be proud of. So I just want to thank everyone for your support of the district.
Very good.
This time, I would like to turn it over to Cheryl Knowles, our business manager, who will present the budget summary report for the 22-23 budget. So we asked if you'd like to move so you can see a little bit better. Cheryl will go through the presentation. So take it away, Cheryl.
And
Yes.
no longer board members. Okay, so yes, we all
You don't
have.
have to. It's up to you.
We have in the past, I got.
Welcome to our 2022-23 budget presentation. For those of you that don't know me, but I think everybody here does, I'm Cheryl Knowles, the business manager at Wisconsin Heights. And I'd like to thank you for coming tonight. Just a reminder, on page 25 of your annual meeting booklet, there is a glossary of terms that I might use through the presentation, and feel free to stop me for clarification at any time during the presentation. The items that I'm going to review are the 3 largest funds budgets separately, what makes up our funding, the changes that have taken place in our equalized value, our proposed Fund 10 budget, and our tax levy. So first for Fund 27, which is the special education fund, you'll notice that the revenues and the expenditures equal, and that's because you can't have a fund balance in Fund 27. So at the end of the year, we adjust the revenues by doing a Fund 10 transfer to make those equal, and right now that transfer is proposed at $1,392,573. Fund 50, it's still a moving target for us. Things to take note, in 2021, we had to transfer $27,962.34 from Fund 10 to Fund 50 to balance it at the end of the year. Last year, we built up almost a $42,000 fund balance due to free meals for all students. You'll notice that our expenditures almost doubled, and that was due to us investing in some new equipment for the food service department. And for this year, I have also projected a balanced budget, but this is hard to predict. So I'm going to give you a little history. In 1920 school year, we had Taher for half the year. In December, we hired our food service director, and in March, COVID started. The following year, 2021, we had free meals for all students, but the students weren't in the building. And then last year, we had students back in the building and free meals for all students. So this year, we're hopeful to have a more normal year that we can actually use for predictions going forward, because it's been pretty hard to budget for. So this slide shows a few of the bigger groups of expenses for all three funds, and you will notice the salaries and benefits is always the largest there. Buildings and grounds, and then our capital projects kind of get lumped in there as well. So we just break them down a little bit differently, and you'll see it in a different format a little bit later. This slide shows the amount of our tax levy in dollars, ranging from $7.8 million to $10.4 million from 2016-17 school year to our current school year. I'm going to show the past 18-year mill rate history, and you'll notice that it varies from $9.02 to $12.06. And then even with the building referendum, it's dropped the last couple of years due to the increase in our district's property values. So here's what I was talking about when I said you'll see the budget broken down a little bit differently. So when you approve the budget at the meeting, you approve it by two-digit functions is the part of the account number that we call it. So the 110,000, 120, 30 down the line on the left-hand side. So you approve it in this format, and if for any reason during the school year I have to move money between those line items, that's when I bring it back to you at the end of the school year to get revisions approved. So the grand total for the Fund 10 budget is $13,199,126. So then, how are we funded for this year? You'll see the two charts on the, they both show how much money we received from the taxpayers and the amount that we received from the state. On the left-hand side are the dollar amounts, and on the right-hand side is the percentages. So this year, we will receive 86.2% of our funding from our taxpayers and 13.8% from the state. And then to give you an idea, our Fund 10 budget is $13 million, but if you combine all the funds together, you'll see it's over $19 million. Dropped from $33 million last year, and that drop is due to the building of the elementary school, the budget that included the elementary school. So at the top here, you'll see the last 5 years' history of the equalized values, the tax levies, and the mill rates, and then also the percentages. During the 5-year period, our property values increased over 38%. The amount of our tax levy, so tax levy dollars, increased just shy of 31%. And the mill rate decreased by 5.7% due to the increase in our property value. Then I have a summary of the equalized values by municipality. And you'll see that it ranged from an increase of 8.17% in the town of Cross Plains to the highest, town of Mazo increased 21.41% over the last year. And then the total as a district increased by 13.21%. Does anyone have any questions?
A couple quick things like easy talking points. So I'm gonna ask you a summary of the budget. So we're a low aid district. So when you see that 86% of our dollars come from local tax dollars and 13-point-something% come from the state, that's low aid. That's not unusual for Dane County though, because of the property values in the county are so high. But I mean, for context, there's many rural districts throughout the state of Wisconsin, particularly north and I would say southwest of here, where the inverse is true, or close to the inverse, where their local tax is 15-20% of their budget, and they get 80% of their dollars from the state. So we're a low-aided district. But as James brought up at our last meeting regarding the increasing property values, and does that result in any additional funding for the district? The simple answer is no. The revenue limit and the amount of dollars that we can possibly bring into the district is set for us by the state. What changes is how much of that revenue limit is generated either through the state or generated through local taxes. So in that state funding formula, we are viewed as property rich, which is then what makes our local tax burden as high as it is. So when you look at the mill rate going down roughly 75 cents, I mean, that's driven by the fact that those property values went up as much as they did. I mean, a 13% increase, and Cheryl said over 38% in 5 years. I don't know that, I've never seen anything like that. So that's a lot. But at the end of the day, yes, we're not getting more money in tax collections. Now, how that's distributed and who's paying what in their taxes, that will change based on what proportion of our revenue limit they are now filling.
And that 1075 mill rate is an average mill rate, so it depends on each municipality and the percentage of the equalized value in each municipality. So in one municipality, it might be a little higher or lower, but the average across the board is 1075.
Thank you, Cheryl. Anyone? One more opportunity. Any questions on what she presented?
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you. Not to be a broken record here, but I do want to just, as I follow the agenda here for the annual meeting, agenda item number 9 on page 3 is supposed to be the public hearing and review of the budget. So just one more opportunity for any of our residents, our taxpayers, if you have any questions on the information that Cheryl presented regarding the budget. All right. Thank you so much, Cheryl, once again. On to agenda item number 10, which is the resolutions at the annual meeting. So the resolutions, if you're following along in your packet, can be found on page 17 and page 18 of the annual meeting packet. We have 4 resolutions. Number 1 is for the adoption of the tax levy for the 22-23 fiscal year. Number 2 is for board salaries and reimbursement. Number 3 is a provision for hot lunch and breakfast programs in the district. And in resolution number 4 is the provision of legal proceedings on behalf of the school district.
I would like to make a motion to approve resolution 1 through 4 with an amendment to number 2, resolution number 2, the board salaries. I'd like to propose for president up to $90, for the vice president and the clerk $80, and the remaining members at $65.
Okay, so we have a motion to take resolutions 1 through 4 with an amendment to resolution number 2. Do we have a second for that? We have a motion and a second for resolutions 1 through 4 with amendments to resolution number 2 as stated. Is there any discussion on the topic?
Well, it looks like the proposal in the resolution was an increase already, so did we come up with that?
No, they weren't.
Oh, that's-
Nope, those are the old.
Yep, so what's listed there is from 21, 22.
Mhm. And from many years beyond.
Yeah, at least for the last 6. Any other questions regarding the resolutions? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. Take a vote.
Oh, no, Gary.
I'm sorry, Gary.
I don't have a problem with the proposal. I know though by state statute, at least for municipalities, on a village board, we can't increase our wages to benefit ourselves. So it could be someone who's not running for election. Now, maybe it's different for school districts. It could well be. But if I were to run for re-election next April, I could not now move to increase board or officer salaries without being in violation of statute. So I don't have a problem with this at all.
Yep, so WASB actually sent out some information, and it says salaries of school board members vote annually, so that's the title. Vote annual salaries for school board members are an amount for each school board meeting the member actually attends. The authority to establish board member compensation does not authorize a board member to receive both an annual salary and a per meeting, so it's just kind of goes into things. I'm trying to find if there's. If the electors or a unified school district board approve an annual, statute allows the staff. No, there's nothing stating,
And I hadn't seen it either, Gary,
Yeah.
previously, not that it
yeah.
couldn't be, but I had never seen that
I'm fine
previously.
with the resolution. I have no problem with it.
No, I appreciate you bringing that up.
That was a good question, yeah, because I was questioning all of that too. So I researched it.
We can definitely take a look at that too, just to make sure, because obviously the last thing we want to do is
Right.
put ourselves in a
Yes.
bad situation, but I have not seen that previously, but we can take a look afterwards and just double check, so.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments regarding resolutions number 1 through 4? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Carries unanimously. We are on to agenda item number 11, which is the establishment of a date for the 2023 annual meeting. The same date, corresponding date, if you will, is October 23rd of 2023, obviously at 6 p.m. like we started tonight. Does anyone want to suggest a date and time for the 2023 annual meeting?
I would like to suggest a 5:30 start date start time for the meeting on October 23rd of next year.
Also, I guess.
Okay, so I'm going to go Cindy and James. So the recommendation is a 5:30 p.m. start on October 23rd of 2023. Is there any discussion or questions on that recommendation?
I was gonna make a joke and ask our one public participant if that would be okay with you. Or I'm changing
Our
the
participant
time.
of one.
Okay.
Excellent. we'll put your name on that seat next year.
Yeah.
So we have a date set potentially for October 23rd, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries unanimously. Our annual meeting will be 5:30 p.m. on October 23rd. Agenda item number 12, any other business which may be legally addressed at the annual meeting. Does anyone in the electorate have a question or anything else you would want us to address? Hearing none, I do want to thank you, Gary, for not only attending this meeting, but being an active community member and your leadership with the village as well. That's a strong part of what helps our school be strong, is the work that we do with the villages and with the townships and everyone else. So just thank you for what you do for our community as well. We'll look for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So,
Second.
James and Matt. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. 6:26
That was
p.m.
exactly the time we said to her.
It's like a practice.
You must have.
Thank you very much. We'll take a
Thank you all.
short recess and we'll start the regular meeting right at
Good job.
6:30.
Perfect.
Well, most of it.
That's really funny. Cheryl, do you want to grab the camera?